Tonight on InnerSpace.
That's definitely been a fun thing for us to explore this year.
Robin Dunne dishes on Sanctuary's bromance. Welcome to InnerSpace, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Hey, it was date night this evening on Sanctuary.
Yes, double date, in fact. Henry and Will taking the ladies out for a night on the town.
Only things didn't go so well, of course. We do, however, get to see a bit more of the bromance between the two guys develop.
Robin Dunne tells us all about having the chance to let his hair down in this episode and explore his relationship with Ryan Robbins' character, Henry.
Tonight, we also hear from series creator Damian Kindler on why it's the characters that really drive Sanctuary and keep us fans coming back for more.
Damian also gives us some behind-the-scenes info on a special cameo in tonight's show, one that true fans will recognize from way back when the series was still only on the web.
Plus, first up, Will had an eye-opening moment in tonight's episode as Erica dropped this bomb on him.
You guys have been through a lot together.
That we have.
In fact, the whole Sanctuary team seems like more of a family.
If not a little dysfunctional.
But you look out for each other.
Of course.
If one of you were to leave...
Leave? Nobody's leaving.
I hope you're wrong, Will. I bought an extra plane ticket. I'm going to ask Henry to come back to London with me.
An extra first-class plane ticket to London, no less, but ultimately the two decided to split up. I mean, Henry's sticking around, Erica's going back to London.
Such a bummer.
I think this was a terrible decision for Erica. I mean, why not stay at the Sanctuary? She wants to explore the world. You get to do that when you work for the Sanctuary. They've been all over the world.
Why is it
inside the world, too?
See, why is it up to her to say, I'm not old-fashioned? I don't think that the woman should automatically bend to the man situation. No. Why couldn't Henry have gone over to London?
Well, her whole explanation for not staying was, you know, I've been in sanctuaries similarly my whole life, so I want to explore the world. And my point is that if she worked for this sanctuary rather than the old one, she would get a chance to do crazy things.
But she would still be going around under the auspices of a sanctuary for abnormals, which, as you said, is where she grew up.
True enough.
She's at a different place. I mean, Henry is just coming to terms with his abnormalism, his hapism, if you will, the fact that he's a werewolf. She's lived this, and so every day she's woken up, and what she's seen around her has reminded her of the fact that she's a hap. She wants to get out there. Henry's in exactly the reverse position. So as much as they're both the same type of organism, they're at very different life stages.
Well, I mean, that's often the cause for relationships dissolving when you're not at the same place in your lives.
I'm sorry for accusing you of being sexist.
Thank you. Well, no matter how things turned out for the double date, Robin Dunne told us why this was a fun and interesting episode to shoot.
It was an interesting episode. It's a different kind of show for Sanctuary, kind of seeing this sort of romance side. And again, you know, four people just want to go out for a dinner, and lo and behold, you know, everything goes wrong. And it is a lot of fun, you know, sort of exploring that relationship between Will and Henry, and just seeing, like, you know, a couple guys who are pals hanging out, and sort of the shenanigans they get up to. And yeah, that's definitely been a fun thing for us to explore this year.
I think that's important. I think that as a show carries on in seasons, it can't just be giant plot. You have to have stories driven completely by character. Because I think people stay fans of the show because of characters, not because of clever storytelling. I think you need to be clever and smart with your storytelling, but you need to really service your characters more and more as the series goes on.
The way Damian says it, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Right? You can have the most clever plot lines in the world, but if you don't care about the characters in the situations, you de facto don't care about the show.
And this episode did a great job of reminding us about why we care about these characters. It was cool to go back and see Magnus kicking so much ass, and to see Henry saving the day on so many occasions. And I love the fact that they showed us how he didn't save the day on many other occasions.
You have to see highlights. You don't see a lot of lowlights. Great episode, too, for people who may not have followed the series from the beginning. A nice little refresher, too.
But that sequence, of course, when we got to see how Henry didn't save the day, that was Will telling Erica about that, which was Will kind of, you know, cramping his style. He wants to marry this lady. Don't tell her about the bad stuff.
Well, it's funny, I didn't think of that example. The example that made me go a little bit like, Will, what are you doing? Was when Henry tells him he's going to, you know, propose to his gal, and Will still won't give up the back room at Alfredo's?
Well, he tried to take Abby there like a couple of weeks before, but things went wrong. She nearly died. I think he had equal rights to the back room.
Right. Henry was going to propose.
I thought the double date idea was kind of sweet, though.
I thought it was neat, but you want to do it in the privacy of your own little room. And I got to say, we've talked about it before, but we think that the cast and crew of Sanctuary secretly own a restaurant called Alfredo's in Vancouver.
If they don't,
free advertising.
We're going to start one.
Yeah, let's invest together.
Yes.
All right. Well, this episode was a lot of fun, especially for director Peter DeLuise. And as Damian Kindler told us, Peter also had a part in front of the camera that brought an old character back from the Sanctuary past.
Peter DeLuise has a cameo in it. And in fact, Peter's cameo is reprising a character he played in the webisodes, where he played Ernie, the kind of monster dealer, weapons dealer. And he, in the webisodes, he gets like a spike ball in the stomach and goes, "That's gonna leave a scar." And, But yeah, so it was really fun and very cheeky and a bit silly at points. But I think it'd be a nice, hey, you want to see what the show's about? It's kind of fun like this.
It's really cool that now in season 3 they've gone full circle with Peter DeLuise going back in front of the camera. Of course, he's normally behind the camera and has done some fantastic directing for other sci-fi shows like Stargate as well.
He's a great director, and his character on the show is really fun.
Funny actor, too.
Yeah, it's obviously a family vibe behind the scenes on Sanctuary, and they bring that in front of the camera, which is cool. Well, you always have great feedback when it comes to this awesome series, and Chelsea wrote in and said, "I love this show. It always leaves you wanting to know more. What's next? Who are they going to meet? What are they going to encounter? Brilliant, truly brilliant." Chelsea is a mega fan.
I think she likes Sanctuary.
I think so.
Jennifer said Sanctuary really needs to get rid of Will's girlfriend. She is really annoying. I wouldn't figure Will would go for a bimbo kind of girl. Sad face. However, the ending with Henry and Magnus helped ease the disappointment. I don't know if I agree there. I mean, the ending was nice, but...
Bimbo, she's an FBI agent.
Yeah.
Lauren wrote, "Poor Henry. I really wanted him and Erica to be together." I'm with you on that one.
It would have been sweet. Kendra said, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but there seems to be a big gaping hole in the form of a missing Tesla. What happened to the big meltdown when everyone came back from Hollow Earth? This is a good question. Rumor has it we will be seeing Nikola Tesla in next week's episode called Awakening. I think it will hopefully go back and pick up that storyline where we left off with everyone getting back from Hollow Earth.
I love him as a character, and Jonathan Young, the actor who plays him, is great. Very busy guy, too. He actually runs a theater company out in Vancouver. I'm excited for the return of Tesla.
It should be very, very good. We'll have lots to talk about for sure. And if you have anything to say, you can always post your comments on our blog at spacecast.com.
Or let's Web 2.0 this. Drop us a tweet, twitter.com/Space Channel.
You can post on our Facebook fan page.
Or old-fashioned email, InnerSpace@spacecast.com. And don't forget, tonight's episode of Sanctuary will be online starting tomorrow at spacecast.com. And also tune in there for InnerSpace Raw after tonight's episode.